All right, Nate, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Who's the first question for Nate? Who's up first? We'll start with Jeff right up front here.
What are you feeling right now on the eve of starting Game 1 of the World Series?
I'm good. Yeah, excited. Feel really good. Feel well rested, and ready to go for tomorrow.
No questions? I will go back there on your left.
Hi Nathan, D-backs offense has a lot of speed and plays small baseball. So how are you going to enter the game facing guys like Marte and Carroll? Like, how are you challenging those guys?
Yeah, I mean they have the speed and they're aggressive on the base paths, and they make you work out there on the mound. So try to keep the ball in the ballpark, and try to prevent them from getting on base. But you got to make sure that you're working quick on the mound and executing pitches. And that's where it's nice that we got Jonah behind the plate. He's got a great arm and does a great job back there behind there. And you don't have to be as fast as you normally need to be. But with a few certain guys out there, you got to make sure that you're holding them and giving them a good chance to throw them out.
Go to Ron at the end of the second row. The microphone's behind you.
Looking back at the previous World Series, did you feel missing out on something because of the relief outing and not getting the Game 4 start? Was a World Series start a goal still to have somewhere in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, very excited for this opportunity to be able to start a game. Obviously, I'm very grateful for the past experiences. Just being able to participate and get into the World Series was big, and I kind of had my moment there. But coming in, having Game 1, trying to set the tone for the team, there's a lot of pressure with that, but there's also a lot of excitement, and I'm definitely ready for this opportunity and go out there and compete against a really good lineup.
Thank you.
We'll go to Pete right behind Ron.
Nate, just to follow that up, you've said in the past that you appreciate what your teammates said about how you kind of set them up for those two games, but you did lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
How much have you kind of been waiting for this opportunity to not just start, but to get back into the World Series?
Yeah, I mean, it's more so just getting back into the World Series. It's such an unbelievable experience and moment. That's what you play every year for. You come into spring training with that mindset to make it to the World Series and to become World Series champions. And, for us to be back here, I'm with another team. Obviously, the first one was with the Red Sox, and to be here with these guys, this group of guys, to be able to start it from the very beginning means a lot to me. And, again, I'm very happy and thankful for this opportunity.
On the far right here, Jeff.
Hey, Nate, some pitchers will say, this is just like any other start. I need to approach it that way. Others will say, this is the World Series. Of course, it's different. Which of those camps, or perhaps a different one, do you fall into?
I would probably say just another start. Obviously, it is the World Series, and I understand everything that's on the line. It's, you got to win or you go home, and you don't want to come this far just to come this far. Being 4 wins away to achieve our goal, that's what we're here to do, and I'm going to treat it like any other start, same routine, same preparation, and things like that. Obviously, a little bit more preparation, I'd say, going into this one, but, it's more so trying to control the adrenaline and the emotions out there, make sure from the first pitch on I'm trying to settle in as fast as I can into the game to go out there and try to go as long as I can.
Other questions for Nate? I'll go to Gabe in the middle.
Hey, Nate. Having worked with Jonah for the whole year plus the playoffs, what have you learned about him? How do you like working with him, and what does he mean to the club, both as a receiver, offensively, and also just what he brings to the clubhouse?
No, Jonah's been great all year. The main thing I think earlier on was trying to get him to be more vocal and be assertive back there behind the plate. There's got to be that working relationship between the starting pitcher and the catcher, in my eyes, that we have to be able to bounce ideas off of each other and talk about how we're feeling. With me, I have 5 pitches, so I may not have all of them working at all times. He's one of the things was him figuring out what were my go-to pitches. Slider for me is my 5th pitch, so obviously I don't throw it as often, but we don't need to be going to it at all the time. And he does a great job making adjustments during the game. Talks to me in between innings about what he's seen at the plate, what he thinks working well for me, and how to try to get other pitches involved with it. And then for the team, it's rare to have a switch hitting catcher who's able to hit from both sides of the plate. He's got a great arm behind there as well. Like I said, it makes it a little easier to hold the runners on base. You just got to give him a good opportunity to be able to try to throw him out. His framing, it's unbelievable up there with the best in the game. And for me, it's I got to know what pitches he handles well. And for me, he handles them all. It gives me that confidence that I can bounce those pitches down in the dirt, and he's able to block them. But as the season's gone on, he's definitely gotten a lot more comfortable with the guys that we have. The confidence has grown. And it's fun to see young guys having the success that he's having and for him to have the year he's having as well.
Do a couple more with Jeff here.
We've seen in recent years a guy like Spencer Strider who has 2 pitches, fastball, slider. What are the benefits and advantages to having as many pitches as you do, or as Merrill Kelly does, or even a guy like Gallen?
Yeah, I think it just, for me, I feel like it almost allows me to make a few more mistakes and get away with them, as opposed to, you know, having 2 pitches. They're sitting on kind of both of them, or sitting in one area in one zone of the plate. For me, I feel like I can locate my fastball at the top and the bottom, in and out, and then, you know, the splitter usage, it's more so reading the swings on the hitter. They're going to, a lot of the times they'll tell you what they're looking for up there, and you just got to be able to recognize it, and then it comes down to you executing your pitches. And you know, I like to use my curveball a lot. I've been having a lot better feel for it lately, and same with the splitter, and using the cutter to get in on some of the guys and try to get some quick outs. And I feel like that's been one of the keys, is me being able to continuously mix up my pitches has allowed me to go deeper into the ball games. You know, whether I've allowed 20 or 40 pitches in the first 2 innings, kind of settle down and go out there and get some quick outs and get the guys back in the dugout.
A few last ones teed up. Newey in the back.
Nathan, you're a native Texan. You know about 2011 here, not getting it done, and then Houston wins 2 world championships, and fans here have been clamoring for one of them. What would it mean for you to be a part of the first potential World Series team to bring a championship?
I mean the world. It's an amazing experience, and again, to be able to say that you were part of the first one, you kind of set the foundation for the years to come, and you don't really know what will happen after that. But for us to be able to say, like, hey, 2023, we were World Series champions, it means a lot, and there's a lot that goes into it and a lot of weight to it. So fans have been amazing for us all year long. We just got to continue to go out there and play our baseball and make sure we get the job done.
Got Evan right here.
Nathan, your specific level of competitiveness, or the way you go about things, your teammates all talk about how much you invest time in them as well. Is that something you developed as a major leaguer or in professional baseball, or is it something you got from somewhere else?
I don't know. I feel like started high school maybe, or even like when we were younger in Little League. You know, I was fortunate enough to come up with, I'm sure like a lot of guys, there's a lot of like really close friends, travel ball and stuff, and it goes into high school, and then after high school I was fortunate enough to get drafted, but certain guys took me under their wings. You know, it's you can't get it done by yourself. You know, it's a team sport. There's multiple guys that are going to help contribute to the organization. You can't win it with the 25 men that you have out there on the field. It's a whole organizational achievement. You got to be able to rely on a lot of other people. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, from helping other baseball players to the training staff helping you, keeping your body healthy, the strength coaches, you know, the massage therapists, everybody's sacrificing and doing their little bits of their job to be able to help you go out there and compete at your best. But I try to make sure I learn from the injuries I've had in the past of how I can get better and stronger from it, help other guys try to prevent themselves from getting injured, whether it's the little workout routines or, you know, eating right, little things like that. But when it comes down to pitching, I try to take a lot of pride in my mechanics. And again, I think you learn a lot from your past failures, and you want to try to prevent that from happening again as much as possible. And you know, if I see somebody else doing something that I had done in the past, I want to make sure that I, you know, try to help out, and they can take it however they want, good or bad, and, you know, hopefully we learn and we continue to have the good success.
We'll finish up with Pete and Ron.
Nate, how much do you think it's helped you guys that the president of baseball operations is a former player? And how has that kind of impacted, do you think, the way he put the team together and the dynamics in the clubhouse?
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough about how great CY has been for us. I mean, he understands the game. He understands, you know, his role, and, you know, not overstepping it, you know, letting the players have the clubhouse, things like that, not coming in too much. But obviously he's around and being extremely helpful with the little things. He sees things. He's not that far out of being, you know, from pitching. So it's nice to be able to talk to him about the little things of the game, and you know, just the little things I think that could help make us better. Been able to bounce ideas off of him, and, you know, he's made some adjustments, and then other times he says we're good. And so you know, I can't thank him enough for the opportunity to come over here, especially with the way everything had unfolded in the offseason, signing DeGrom and Heaney, and then, you know, circling back to me and giving me this opportunity to be here in this situation. And you know, like I said, we got 4 more wins, so make sure that we do it.
We'll finish up with Ron in the second row.
Were there ever moments after either Tommy John surgery that you wondered whether you would get back to experience moments like this? And looking back, what were the low points and how distant do they seem?
You know, there was never a doubt in my mind that I'd come back and I'd be healthy. You know, I was coming down, like, I put a lot of faith and trust into everybody that I'm around. You know, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how to do a Tommy John surgery. You know, obviously I'm trusting them to make sure that they do it, and then I'm going to do what they tell me to do to make sure that I come back and I'm better. I can put in the work. Being in one of these moments, though, you can never take it for granted. You never know what kind of team you're going to have that year, the injuries. You know, everybody's going to have to face that, you know, the injury bug, and you know, you're going to have a lot of different guys step up at the right times, and I feel like that's one of the reasons that we're able to be here in this situation. You know, Corey went down early in the year, and you got Josh Smith and Zeke who were able to step up and fill in that role for him. We've had a lot of the starting pitchers go down. Dane was able to step up this year and take that spot for DeGrom, and everybody's been able to step up in those little moments and had their moment during the season to help us get to this point. And you know, I think that's one of the things that means a lot for us to be able to be in this situation again. And you know, we just, again, got to make sure we win these next 4 games.
Nate, great to see you in another World Series. Thanks for your time. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.